Hello, welcome to Under the First Floor Lo-Fi Podcast, shitty recordings of bands you should like. My name's David Settle, and on today's episode we have Ther from Philadelphia. This is the project of Heather Jones, who has previously appeared on this podcast playing with Strawberry Runners, and has also recorded a number of bands who have been on here, including Sadurn and Julian, through her So Big Auditory Studio. She just released her first full-length called Trembling, which is out on cassette via Moon Physics, and played some songs off of that, as well as a split that she did with Sadurn. While most of the recordings on the new record were done solo, this episode includes a full band, including members of Sadurn, and it was really cool to hear them like this. We recorded this back in the fall before the record came out, so this is my first experience with those songs, and I think they sound really cool like this, as well as on the record, as I found out later. But without further ado, here is Ther's first song called A Mouse. Hope you enjoy.
There is a black spot inside of my eye from all of that time I spent looking at light. The size of a pinhole, but tough to tune out. It's pretty distracting when I leave the house. What does that say about you if you're so willing to? What does that say about me if I comply? There's something tugging both of us if we're so willing to forego trust. This is all to say, this'll be the last day. Yep. A muscle that didn't fully grow. The part of my shoulder that I used to say no. It keeps my arm well attached to my neck, but it won't let me lift it in my own defense. That nothing's permanent. I wonder if that's true. Of something that's inherited, imposed upon you. They were crashing on the couch, looking like a mouse. I was sitting at my desk, doing I forget. Into fall, hoping you would just return my call, asking where you're at. You were playing with the cat. I'm Heather. I sing and play guitar.
Hey, I'm Amelia. I play the bass guitar.
I'm John, and I tickle the toms.
Veronica, I play synth and sing.
I'm Madeline. I play guitar and saxophone.
So I know this project has been going for a while. Or how long has this project been going?
I think the first release was in 2015.
2015.
So like the whole the moniker is kind of old.
Mm-hmm. And how long has like this lineup been going?
Oh, not very long. What, like we started rehearsing like May, June?
Oh wow!
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Sounds like a seasoned band. Very impressive. Was this band kind of like put together for the recording of new stuff?
Well, I was, over the first, course of the pandemic, I was making an album mostly by myself. I needed to get a band together eventually to, play this stuff. So I guess, that was kind of the first thing. But there's also, just, a lot more material to record that I didn't want to do by myself because I'm not particularly fond of making music all by myself.
The stuff you played tonight, so yeah, I know one of the songs is on the split, right?
Two of the songs are on the split.
And that's a split.
Actually,
Saturn.
3 of them are on the split because a mouse is actually the first 30 seconds of it on the split.
But the insurance agent is
Yeah.
talking to me.
Yeah. The other stuff is all off a record that is coming out soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
If I remember right, you were 4.5. You were getting on my nerves and you were being a brat. A fist in the teeth was my counter argument, and looking back, it worked out pretty well, didn't it? A trip to the doctor and a couple Advil will set you right. Though your smile now leans to one side. You were just a little tight. If there's one thing that 26 has said to me, it's that the unintended consequences are still your responsibility. No amount of saying sorry ever made things right. Forgiveness is a thing you earn after work and overtime. In a leap that's divine. Felt good. I'm proud of Resurrection Sundae. The song is about something very personal to me, and I think that and I wrote that song years ago, and I still feel 4 years later I can still play that song and be that does justice to how I felt about that and is affirming. But also Amelia and I just shot a music video for it a couple weeks ago, and it's currently getting finished up, and I think the footage was really cool.
Yeah, it was really fun to make. I remember you sent me a demo of that song 3 years ago. And I just remember obsessing over it and crying in my car listening to it. It was so sick.
You're sweet.
Yeah.
How does everyone feel about the full band adaptation of that? Or is that pretty much how it sounds recorded too?
Sounds very different recorded.
Oh yeah. How
Yeah.
so?
There's no live drums on the record. It's mostly synthesizers. It's mostly synthesizers and drum machine.
Mm-hmm.
So very different kind of overall makeup of the songs.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to play bass too because the record version is incredibly spot on, and then my playing is just so all over the place. But I'm trying to get it.
You bring a loose feel to it that is really nice.
Yeah, I bring the soul to it.
Yeah.
When the sun comes back from sleep, it's time to say sorry without explaining and pay your dues to those that made you. It can be a figurative making, or maybe your neighbor every morning. It can be no one. son comes back from sleep, you read an email from your cousin, recalling dated family drama about being gay and Oxford commas. Now you're starting to feel nauseous, like there's a cavity in your conscience, like you've lost your fighting spirit. All your ideas are incoherent. The only thing getting resurrected is the notion you need correction, that you're not really transgender. I guess it's April Fool's this Easter. That bad dream again. I sleep heavy, you bet. Oh, that bad dream again. I sleep heavy, you bet. You should go out and get some ice cream to mark the beginning of your treatment. Cool.
So, Heather,
Yeah.
you record a lot. You do recordings.
Yeah.
What is your recording studio called?
It's mostly a listening room at this point, but I have a studio called So Big Auditory. It's near Satellite Cafe in West Philly.
Cool.
So
Nice. Yeah. I recorded like 2 straight sessions where they were like, oh yeah, we recorded a record. And I was like, nice. I think one of those sessions had 3 people here
Yeah.
on it, the Saturday
Yeah.
session.
That was a fun record.
Yeah.
That was a really fun record.
So how long have you been doing recording stuff for?
I've been doing it full time I'm coming up on 4 years actually in a couple weeks.
Oh,
yeah.
And
That's awesome.
but I've been like, I don't know, I guess I started demoing my own stuff in college when I was like 2010, I
Mhm.
guess. So like 11 years
Nice.
of doing it in some capacity.
Does most of your recordings with this project is it just center around self-recording for the most part?
I feel like unfortunately it has. I don't think that's always been like the goal. I get really busy with other records that I'm doing for other people, and I get really worn out on music, and I don't have a lot of time to work on it in my spare time because I don't want to listen to anything. I want to read or like watch TV, and I don't want to listen to music. So I feel like a lot of what ends up happening is like if I can get people together, I guess pre-pandemic, if we could get people together at a time, we could like make it work. But it was frequently just demos that turned into songs, or in this case over the pandemic, just like I was already cooped up by myself and
Right.
with all the time in the world. So that's what, except for John recorded a guitar part for that record, and he ended up doing all the harmonies for it too. So, but I feel like mostly it just ends up being myself, but only because of like convenience sake and not
Right.
really
I would love to just be making records as a band. It's just very hard to coordinate that.
For sure.
It's so hard.
Do you get inspired by other sessions you do? Like to do stuff with your own
Definitely.
project? Yeah.
I mean, that's like the fun thing about like recording other people is that like I get to work on a bunch of music that I would never make by myself. You know, I feel like when you're just like making your own music, you kind of develop a vocabulary and like habits, and you kind of like fall back on them. But like when you like work with a lot of people, whether it's recording or just playing in a lot of bands, it's like you get brought into other worlds and you can kind of like glean things, or like your perspective can be shifted, or like you can go home and be like, I want to write a song that was kind of like that one, and we played it a bunch today, so I think I know how it works, or like you know, stuff like that. And it all just ends up like osmosing, I think. It's like, especially if like you're working on especially if you're in a band or like working on a recording project where you're just steeping in the same songs for like months or even years, like you just, you know, they just become part of you at some point, you know. Some days there is a reason to get up and go to sleep. Others are much harder when the bottom feels so deep. And some will give you thinkings you will never understand. And I know that I'll be somehow fine as long as you're my friend. When winter comes a-creeping, there are reasons to feel joy. You can wrap around a pillow like a child's favorite toy. The heat will be much cheaper if we sleep in the same bed. And I feel far less like dying every time you kiss my head.
What's everyone been listening to lately?
I've been listening to the Silk Sonic record a whole bunch because I'm a big Anderson .Paak fan.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And that record just
nice.
came out, and it's so much fun.
It's good.
What?
It's
There's
so.
a new Anderson .Paak
It's
record?
Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars.
Oh my
It's so
God.
good.
Really?
It's so
I was
good.
curious about that.
It's really, it's like, it's stupid good, honestly. It's one of my favorite records of the year.
Wow.
It's really fun. Just a pure joy to listen to.
That's cool. Yeah, I've been hyped about. Well, I was laughing because V and I were bumping Maroon 5 in the car, and that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, "This Love" by Maroon 5. So good. But I've been really loving Charlotte Cornfield's new record that just came out, and I found a really good trans artist that I'm obsessed with. Her name's Ethel Kane. She's really good. I've just been like literally nonstop listening to her music.
Nice.
Yeah, just like goals for me as like a trans person to like sound like her. It's like be really cool.
I've been listening to Pavement a lot. The singer has such a good bad voice. I can't get over how perfectly bad it is.
Yeah.
Like, I've just been really into it.
I've been listening to the Christian Lee Hudson album that came out like last year a lot. He's got some really funny lyrics and really like poignant stuff, but it's like it like makes you feel a lot, but then like chuckle as well, which also reminds me of Heather's songwriting.
Right to the bar. Good for business, but bad for your car. Insurance, a $5 word. A talk between a pig and a bird. Some band that you heard. You are smaller than you were yesterday. I got taller and a little more gay. No quarter, no mercy in town. New orders to the top from the down. No thorns, no crown. That was a red light, or was it blue and bright? No one. What kind of person wants to have a job like that? Who wants to wear that gun and hold up someone? That was a red light, or was it blue and bright? No one. person wants to have a job like that? Who wants to wear that gun and hold up someone?
For the last little bit of the tape, were there any topics or anything y'all want to talk about? You did say you had one thing to say.
Oh, I already
I know
said
you.
it.
Okay.
Oh, you already said
What
it.
was it?
That I tickle the toms.
Okay. Very important.
Aw.
But I feel like we do switch, so Madeline's playing the drums on 2 songs. I forgot to say.
I don't tickle the toms though. I just use the drumsticks like normal style.
That's respect. That's more respectful, I think.
Madel's famously a traditionalist.
Yeah.
In all
I'm very conservative.
Just blast beats and,
Just
and
read
saxophone
last beats the
solos.
whole time.
Sometimes they start talking about like anti-vax stuff. We're like, Madel,
Cut
stop.
that! Cut that!
Alright, put the sticks down.
It'd be funny if you were a neocon band member.
But I'm just so good, you can't kick me out.
I think that's a great story arc for this one.
Yeah.
Thanks so much to Heather and her band for letting me record a session with them. If you'd like to find more from them, you can check out their Bandcamp, Ther, with 3 R's at the end of that, .bandcamp.com. You can also find them on Instagram and Twitter at Ther_Ther_Ther. If you'd like to get in touch with me about the podcast, you can email underthefirstfloor@gmail.com. And you can also find us on Instagram at underthefirstfloor or on Twitter at UTFFpodcast. For the last couple of songs, I'm going to leave you with some newer tracks that came out earlier this year. The first one being from Medusa Phase, a song called The Way I Feel. It's off of their first full-length Negative Space, which is out on Woodford House. This is a band comprised of a few people from Tallahassee who have been making just incredible music for the last decade or so. It's really cool to hear them do a full-length and just some amazing sounds on this record. Definitely check it out if you like the track that you hear. And the last song will be from the Afterglows, a song called Sea of Hate, which is on their album The Sound of the Afterglows that came out about a month ago. This is the duo of Sam from Radiator Hospital and Michael from The Goodbye Party, 2 previous guests on this podcast. They just put out that incredible new tape. I think all the cassettes are sold out, but you can at least go listen on their Bandcamp. Hope you have a good week. Hope you enjoy, and stay safe. Bye.
If only fate had known I'd fall. Say, if only known I'd find. I think you hurt me so severely. Always come see away. So clear and far-eyed, full of faith of you. Keep far away, wanna be proud. Listen to of me. All we never had was a way out, a way out, a way out, a way out, a way I feel. You saw it coming, my love. You saw it coming. You saw it coming, my love. You saw it coming.
We